The first one is all along we check for snow and ice to finding more in North Texas is what we know by WFAE. Like
You know, it's going to it's going to still take some days, Greg, for it to 100% be better in terms of any slick spots. This morning, you heard Morgan, you heard Chris. It's not super obvious, and that could be the most dangerous time when it's not obvious. Temperatures are freezing area wide, and we still have moisture on the ground. So driving conditions, I'm going to go ahead and give them a red and call them bad, even though we do have a lot of good spots out there. It's not always obvious where the bad spots are. Now, this afternoon, still use caution because there are still going to be, especially on the side of the roads, frozen precip. Even though temperatures will climb to about 41, this is going to allow for additional melting like we have been in the last, what we have seen in the last couple of days. But then tonight, temperatures will hover right underneath that freezing point. So any moisture that's not really going to be fully melted could very well freeze again tonight. So still use caution tonight into Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, that's when I'm thinking we're going to see widespread improvement. High temperature of 51 will be above freezing for a long period of time in the afternoon, and we're also going to see a lot of sunshine. So I'm thinking Thursday afternoon will be much, much better. Still a few slick spots Friday morning, still want to use caution, and then by Friday afternoon, I'm thinking much, much better. And it's not just because we're going to be dealing with above freezing temperatures. Ice and snow can actually melt even with freezing temperatures, and this can happen through a process called sublimation. Basically, what that means, Kara, is this dry air that pushes right over the ice tends to turn it into vapor. So it gets rid of that ice even without temperatures that are above freezing. So we've got a few things working in our favor here the next several days.
really. This one is Texas Windows Moberto Abbas Satan in DFW by Pax for Dallas Povos.
All morning. All morning, we've been following a developing story along I-30 near Beltline Road in Grand Prairie.
The eastbound lanes are closed, and there are major problems on the access road. Fox 4's Peyton May she just arrived on the scene to show us the icy cleanup this morning. Peyton, there were a lot of 18-wheelers slipping and sliding, cars trying to maneuver their way past those big rigs. What are you seeing now?
Yes, Paige, it really just is such a horrible commute for so many that are heading into the city from I-30. Again, those eastbound lanes of I-30 are closed really throughout Grand Prairie, kind of starting before the George Bush Turnpike. And if you take a look behind me here, there's an 18-wheeler that actually is trying to be rerouted, navigated up to the frontage road. That 18-wheeler got stuck, as I've seen happen to two other 18-wheelers on the frontage. I mean, it's such a difficult situation because with those eastbound lanes closed of I-30. Officers here are directing people, of course, onto that frontage road. But it is not easy to get up this hill that we're on right now. As you can see, this 18-wheeler is trying to make it up again. And these cars are going one at a time. Officers are directing them one at a time for, of course, maximum safety, since it is so difficult to get up in this area. Some of these 18-wheelers are actually going into more of the crunchy snow part instead of the icy portion of this road to try to get a little bit more traction. That seems to be the issue with momentum really up on this service road here, as so many 18-wheelers have been getting stuck. Now, I do want to talk about my commute actually getting here. I arrived maybe about 4 or 5 minutes ago, actually, coming from the city on the westbound lanes on I-30. It was not easy as well. Of course, those are open right now, but I mean, it was black ice that entire way. Kylie's been talking about that chance for fog. I did go through a patch of fog with my photographer, Terry Van Sickle. We went through what looked like a frozen fog. It was really only a quarter of a mile, but there was pretty much very low visibility. We were taking it very slow and steady, but I will say I saw 4 cars turned over into barriers just on my commute here at 4 o'clock in the morning. So as this traffic picks up into the morning, it's going to be even more difficult. Todd, the main question here, some detour routes, because people are going to need them this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Peyton. Unfortunately, it's not a normal situation. We are not back to normal this Wednesday morning. It's still icy out there and treacherous, as you just saw. As far as alternate routes are concerned on I-30, let's zoom in and show you exactly where we're talking about. It's I-30 between heading from Arlington into Grand Prairie, approaching the Dallas area. Now, you are being diverted onto the service road. It's still not a great drive there. Just to the south is Jefferson 180 as an alternate. That could be a decent, different way to go as you're heading towards the Dallas area. But again, please go slow and be extra careful. The side streets are in worse condition than the highways in a lot of cases. Now, mentioning I-30 on the westbound side, that commute was slow trying to get to that accident side. But the westbound side of I-30, a new accident just reported on the roadway approaching Loop 12 in Grand Prairie. So again, watch for delays there. And another pretty serious accident occurred up in Grapevine. In fact, Grapevine police have just let us know that the freeway is shut down on the eastbound side of 114, approaching 121 around Highway 26. Fortunately, no injuries to report, but an 18-wheeler is involved in it. Text.shot shows us that backup. Those folks aren't moving. They're trying to redirect traffic around this accident location. It's going to be closed for at least a couple of hours, we're hearing right now. We will let you know if that changes, but again, watch for delays on 114 and Grapevine.
And this one is slick roadwork January condition on some North Texas roadways on Wednesday by WFA.
30 is finally moving. Again after a major crash involving a semi-truck caused issues in Grand Prairie. You can see that jackknifed semi on the westbound side of I-30. Police say that truck hit a patch of black ice. The interstate shut down for several hours. Tricky conditions this morning.
And this is what we were concerned about with so many more people getting on the roads today. Expect more of the same. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Kara Sewell.
I'm Marquez Took, and we'll get to our meteorologist, Greg Field, to get you out the door in a moment. But really the issue of the day are the traffic conditions. Stacia Wilson dealing with quite a few issues from overnight. Stacia, it really is pretty widespread.
It most definitely is. I'm going to go through some of these cameras with you. Right now, we're watching a situation. This is 35 North. Both of those northbound lanes in far north Denton County and Sanger are currently closed at FM 455. Traffic being pushed off to the service road. Keep in mind, in this area, there's only 2 lanes of 35 to begin with, so this backup is building very quickly. Once again, that location, FM 455. Another area we're watching, a ramp closure. This is affecting the Irving area. It looks like they have shut down 183 eastbound to President George Bush Turnpike, Texas 161. That northbound ramp is currently closed as a result of an accident there. So those are the areas that we've been watching. Heading on over to Grapevine, we've been following this situation. Looks like they finally were able to clear that along 114 eastbound at State Highway 26 in Grapevine after being closed for a few hours this morning. Morgan Young's been following the situation, the traffic there, and joins us with the latest. Morgan?
Yeah, Stacia, good morning. I want to show you what we're looking at now. We've moved locations. We're actually on 635. We just crossed the Capel city limits. But I want to show you video from a couple minutes ago when we were just off of 114 in Grapevine. You know, all those eastbound lanes have been shut down for a couple of hours this morning after Grapevine police say an 18-wheeler crashed into a barrier, then was hit by another vehicle. About 15 minutes ago, they were actually able to clear that accident. We saw trucks very slowly going down that roadway, treating those roads. And then, of course, all those folks who have been waiting there for nearly 2 hours to be able to move slowly, moving behind them. You know, this is just a reminder that, as you can see, you know, more people are on the roadways today. They're feeling more confident. That's great. But we cannot forget that these roadways are slick. Irving police say that overnight they are responding to an increased number of vehicle crashes as a result of these slick roads. So what we're seeing this morning is just a reminder that we are not fully in the clear yet, even though things look better. Back to you.
This one is 7 East Ladder, Denver, Texas, Road Crossing, Sea Lake Safety Gates. Oh, and they go.
This week is going to mark. This week is going to mark 7 years now since a train slammed into a school bus here in North Texas, killing a 13-year-old boy. Following that deadly encounter, the CBS News Texas I-Team discovered a critical safety feature was actually missing at that crossing. State officials then promised to fix it, but as of tonight, that still hasn't happened. And that same risk exists at thousands of crossings across the state of Texas. Investigative reporter Brian New tonight revealing why the fix is years behind and what it means for drivers at these dangerous crossings.
In Athens, Texas, across the tracks, along the side of the road, sits a reminder of what happened and what has not. 7 years ago.
Damn, that's crazy.
A Union Pacific freight train slammed into a school bus, pushing it nearly a quarter mile down the tracks. First responders saved the driver and a 9-year-old girl. But 13-year-old Christopher Bonilla, just one stop from home, was killed. The 78-year-old bus driver told investigators he didn't hear or see the train. Criminal charges against him were dismissed, in part because the crossing only had a yield sign and a crossbuck.
You would have thought they'd have put up rail, crossings after that happened.
Drivers told us for years this crossing has needed better warnings.
It would be nice if it had some arms. Just needs to be done.
But the effort to install safety gates and flashing lights has dragged on for years. January 2019, the deadly crash puts this crossing in the spotlight. Months later, TxDOT calls fixing it a top priority.
It'll be a priority to look very hard at the project in Athens.
The first plan the state eventually settled on was to close the road. But in 2023, the city of Athens said no, warning closure could delay emergency responders. That same night, another car was hit by a train, and there's been others. 2014.
I went across the tracks like I normally do.
Eva Lee's pickup was hit.
I punctured a bunch of ribs, broke a bunch of ribs, and I punctured my lung.
Even earlier, 1981, records show another crash. Finally, January 2024, TxDOT settles on Plan B, safety gates. Federal dollars would cover most of the cost, while Union Pacific would handle the installation.
We expect later this year to be able to begin the installation of both lights and gates at that particular crossing.
But that didn't happen. The timeline dragged on. It took another year before funding was approved. Federal sign-off months later. And now, April 2026 is the projected start date.
But Union Pacific Railroad still doesn't have a completion date, meaning 7 years after Christopher Bonilla was killed here in a preventable accident, neighbors are still left wondering when a simple safety gate will be installed.
But at this point in age, I think that's pretty much expected out of the government in a lot of situations, unfortunately.
The delays in Athens aren't unique. Even after deadly crashes, it can take years for gates to go in, if they go in at all. In Godley in 2011, Don Baber was driving to work when a train hit his pickup. He didn't survive. It took 8 years before gates were installed. In Johnson County in 2010, Carol Bryant was killed. Gates came 6 years later. And in Hunt County in 2015, LaDonna Sue Rixby was hit on her way to the grocery store. 10 years later, still no safety improvements. Last year, 23 people were killed at train crossings in Texas, more than half, 14 at crossings without gates, including a UPS driver killed in October in Hunt County, the second fatal crash there. Federal records show since the first crash in 2004, the only upgrade, was 2 yield signs.
As you know, we've got over 3,000 ungated crossings around the state, and we work hard to prioritize those.
TxDOT gets about $20 million in federal funding every year to improve rail crossings. But the state admits that's nowhere near enough to put gates at every crossing. That money has added gates at nearly 40 crossings in the past 2 years. So while Athens may finally be next, the years of delays and the fight it took to get gates are a warning for the more than 3,000 crossings still waiting across Texas. With the I-Team, Brian New, CBS News, Texas.
Brian also wanted us to share with you this. TxDOT says the Athens project that he talked about, which includes gates, flashing lights, and resurfacing near the tracks, will cost about $629,000. Union Pacific will cover a little more than $100,000 of that with the federal money, he says, covering the rest. Our I-Team goes even more in depth on CBSNewsTexas.com. There you can also find a map showing the exact location of all of the last year fatal train crashes.
This one is riding back on the wall. See, is a symbol of the peace by NBCDW.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this, a DART bus that got some much needed help from the snow and the ice out there today. You know, the return to the roads means easing on the gas as we start to slowly shift back into high gear. NBC5 Shannon Miller hit the streets across Dallas for a look at how drivers are handling the streets and the slush.
Tonight, Dallas still at work.
Work, boy, work! Work, son, work them!
Idling after a winter wall-up. This pickup pulling a stalled DART bus out of an intersection. Plows across North Texas continuing to pummel the slush to the side of the roadways. TxDOT crews now on day 7 of 12-hour workdays, reapplying their sand mixture on elevated surfaces and will likely work through Wednesday.
Well, North Texas's main roadways and interstates have been the top priority for crews over the last several days. It's the side streets, many of them still covered. That'll be the most dicey for drivers.
We didn't want to get out in the vehicle and have sliding everywhere.
The Harris family in Northeast Dallas daring to dine out, but only on these wheels.
We heard that the neighborhood restaurant bar was open, so took the golf cart out.
Other cars left spinning their wheels on neighboring streets. Dallas police responded to 272 crashes from midnight Friday to Tuesday morning.
First time in 3 days driving this thing.
As cabin fever is putting cars into motion.
Of course, my daughter had to go hang out with some friends, and so I wanted to make sure her social life was intact.
TxDOT warns the potential for freezing fog could be the latest hurdle in getting North Texas fully back on track. In Dallas, Shannon Miller, NBC5.
Oh. This is says nobody remain easy as about begin to clear in North Texas, by CB Texas.
But Lauren. But Lauren, we're finally seeing some things thaw out, even though highways are looking better. The back roads still kind of dicey.
Yeah, exactly right, Lauren. But we are not out of the woods yet. And I wanted to start off at the 11 o'clock hour with a look at the high five, because this is where we just had a stalled vehicle for over an hour blocking these lanes. And what's happening is the drivers here are coming onto the ramp, the high five ramp, and they're starting to lose traction with the ice. And you can see right here, you see the color of the shoulder right here? Well, then look at the ice color that you can see, just that clear glaze of ice covering the high five right now. So that's why we're telling you to be extra cautious when you do go over those overpasses and the ramps. I want to take you now over to the best and the worst road conditions. At the top of every hour today, we've been comparing those conditions for you. And you can see right here, 30 at Summit, those lanes look great. However, side roads, those neighborhood roads, other areas like this in Westlake, this is taken just about 15 minutes ago. So you can see
resiliency. Not everywhere has thawed out yet. We are still having some problems. And I want to leave you with a look at the difference that we have seen, the good positive changes that we have seen from 35E. This is at 7 a.m. this morning and 1 at 11 a.m. So definitely seeing some progress, Karen, but we are not out of the woods yet.
Oh, no, we're not. Thank you for keeping an eye on this for us, Lauren. Appreciate it. As we've been saying, it is the side streets and local roads that are going to be the trickiest for you today. Our team coverage continues with Trevor Sahaki, who's been traveling around Fort Worth all morning. So, Trevor, how is it looking out there now?
Well, Karen, it's these local roads that you've mentioned and that we've been mentioning all show long. They're the ones that are giving people the most problems. Even though the sun is out, you can see that the light of the sun is reflecting on my face right now. Sun's out, it's helping melt, but still those hills and those side roads, they're giving people problems. In fact, already today, we've seen some cars get stuck on the ice and need to get pushed out. In fact, take a look at this video right here. This is video of a car that was stuck on ice on a hill. A group of guys comes over to help push it out, and one of them takes a nasty fall. Thankfully, they were all okay, and they got the car out just fine. But that's been the case all around Fort Worth this morning as drivers try to get out, many going to work for the first time in a couple days. We've seen some cars that are perpendicular to the road, stuck in that position overnight, just waiting for the ice to melt. We found two men scraping their cars off before trying to head to work today. They told us it's getting out of their neighborhood that's the toughest.
If I just go take it slow and I'm on like level ground, I might be okay, but of course I might come across some dangerous situation. I think if that's the case, I'll just come back.
We kind of live in a bowl, so it's uphill no matter which way you got to go out. So if you can't make it up one of those hills, you're not going anywhere, you know?
You are definitely not going anywhere. I mean, just look at the ice and the road conditions on this local road here in East Fort Worth. As we've said already, if you can stay home for a few more hours, that will make a huge difference. A lot of the ice on these roads should thaw by this afternoon, so if you need to get out, this afternoon would be the time to do so. Live in Fort Worth, Trevor Sahaki, CBS News, Texas.
Smart. Wait a little bit longer if you can, Trevor. Thank you very much.
This one, we know some black eye causing Daniel with more contending research by Fox 4 Dallas for us. Like,
All right, Todd, thanks. Of course, we knew this was going to happen. We talked about it yesterday, all of the melting that happened yesterday, then refroze overnight, and that's created a lot of tricky spots there in the morning drive.
I thought what was interesting was whatever was slush yesterday and kind of like all slush like that. Well, now it's frozen, like frozen slush. So it's like rock as opposed to just moving around, especially on some of those side roads. Portions of I-30 had to be closed for hours as crews tried to clean up some of the ice there. Fox 4's Peyton May live in Grand Prairie this morning. Peyton?
Yes, good morning, Lauren. It has been such a difficult commute for many this morning, at least heading into the city from Grand Prairie. It was difficult for the last few hours. I will say those lanes of I-30 eastbound in Grand Prairie have been open for the last hour, and that's really cleared up a lot of the situation here because the service road was where officers were diverting cars as those lanes were closed. And take a look at this video earlier. A lot of those 18-wheelers could not get up this service road. I mean, it is a very tricky hill all in all, but a lot of the times they had to go back down the hill, gain some momentum, come back up the hill. It was just one at a time, car by car, and it really caused such a delay. Now, again, thankfully that those lanes are back open. There hasn't been as much of an issue here now, but I will say the commute heading into work is going to be difficult regardless. Those side roads that we've been talking about iced over. Even if you are a comfortable, confident driver in this icy, cold, or snowy weather, there are a lot of difficulties. My photographer and I actually passed through some dense fog for a little bit driving here today. So again, you're going to want to make sure you just keep it very slow, be extra cautious. Don't get too confident if you don't see anything on the roads, because it could just be black ice, and that's very easy to skid out and swerve. So again, give yourself extra time if you're heading anywhere, and just stay home if you don't have to be anywhere. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Wow. This one, number reward of black by snow and ice on Wednesday morning by WFAA.
Yes, Morgan, and I hope you stay safe. We are talking about neighborhood roads around Collin County. We are in Plano right now, just off Parker Road, a pretty busy area. And I'm going to bring in Amanda McNew. She is with the city of Plano to talk about what roads they are treating. And Amanda, you and I were talking off camera, and I was a little surprised to learn that there are only certain streets you are treating right now, or the city is treating right now.
That's right. So what we do in the city of Plano is we treat the major intersections that have signals, bridges, and overpasses. So some of these side streets that you might use to get to schools and other things are not treated with salt and sand by the city. And that's really something important for parents to know, for others to know, that you really need to wait for the sun to come out for those to melt on their own. We want to make sure that these bigger streets are melting. And then after that, we really just want the public works to focus on getting everything melted from the sun and getting those into the storm drains.
Right. So you and I were talking about that too. There are storm drains that we're all familiar with, especially in our neighborhoods, and those have to be clear for the melt to properly go in them. So that is something the crews are working on right now.
Right. So at night, you'll see salt and sand treatment. And then during the day, you'll see the crews actually clearing the snow from the storm drains on the side of the curbs. That way, when everything does melt this afternoon, they have somewhere to go and those streets can dry faster.
Right. And Amanda, really quickly before we go, just any advice to those who have to venture out today if you have to be in your car?
Right. Well, this morning, everything is frozen, so it's going to be icy and slick. This afternoon, it'll be faster, easier to drive. Those parking lots are still going to be slick. That's why Plano has delayed openings until noon today. So if you have to be out this morning, take your time and just know that even if you're out afternoon, be careful in those parking lots if you're going to our rec centers or libraries.
Absolutely. And those are still closed as well. Yes.
Until noon.
Until noon. So rec centers and libraries opening up again at noon. We know they were closed over the last several days.
That's right.
So at least those are opening up. And guys, it's one thing to hear it from the city that these roads are really dangerous, but we experienced it for ourselves. We live in this community, and the neighborhood roads really are pretty slick, pretty icy, you guys.
No, we understand. I mean, driving in this morning, and I think that's really the message, is that we've seen a bunch of wrecks already and the day's just getting started. So please go slowly.
Yeah. Go slowly, this one forward dealing with weatherman back from Windows Home by Fox 4 Dallas Bobos.
As North Texas starts to thaw out, many people are going to get the unwelcome news that their pipes burst during the Arctic blast. Fox 4's Deanne Anglin is live in Fort Worth, where major incidents have already been reported. Hey, Deanne.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, the city of Fort Worth says it's dealing with multiple water main breaks, but the number is not outrageous. In fact, the city says it is manageable for now. Street scenes in various locations across Fort Worth. By early afternoon, Tuesday, less than a dozen water main breaks.
Well, 10 main breaks in a day is not bad at all. I mean, it's more than a normal day, but for a winter weather event, right now things are not outrageous. They're manageable.
City Water Department spokeswoman Mary Gugliuzza says the repair work caused water service interruptions for 145 customers, for which the city urges patience.
It's tedious. It just takes a while. And you can't you can't turn valves off quickly, because if you turn them too quick, you create a water hammer. And a water hammer, because that pressure has to go somewhere, and it can cause more breaks. Oh my God.
On social media, evidence of the storm's impact on pipes. Some are posting the effects online. Guglielza says her department has seen an uptick in calls for help shutting off main valves to homes, likely due to pipes that froze, then burst, and are now unthawing. Despite what the city has seen thus far during the winter storm, it is unlikely to come close to the damage caused during the deep freeze associated with the storm of 2021. How many breaks did we get up to in 2021?
Oh, 719, I believe.
Wow.
Total.
Total.
Throughout that storm.
Over about 17-day period, I believe.
No consolation for those currently impacted, yet still perspective.
Hopefully people have done what they're supposed to do already, which is have some water on hand, because you never know. Just be mindful that our crews are doing the best they can to get you back in service as soon as they can.
Now, some information the city of Fort Worth would like for you to make use of or pass along is that you can call the non-emergency number 311 if you need help with shutting off a main valve to your home or having a water emergency.
Minnesota impact in Calhoun County, Texas by WFAE.
Well, Izzy, as you can see, it is still very icy out here. Just the road behind me is iced over with ice at least an inch or so thick. On the highway behind me, there are some cars that are going by, but they're going by pretty at a very cautious speed. Most of them are staying in one lane, and usually that lane is the lane that is most clear. But as you mentioned earlier, there was a water issue yesterday. Actually, there was a problem at one of the water towers that was causing some residents to have low water pressure. Well, thankfully, the city was able to resolve that issue within an hour, and everything was back to normal. But again, the big issue here is that snow and that ice. Now, all over Kaufman County, there are areas that are still iced over. Some residents say in the more rural areas, it's really getting tough to get around. Still, people braved the conditions. Many were driving, some were on foot. There weren't a lot of businesses open in the area, but we were able to track down two. Now, one, we talked to an owner of a gas station, and he was clearing his own parking lot. He had kind of a little system going.
Basically, it looks like snow, but it's not snow, because when you digging a little bit, maybe less than an inch, you will see the ice. I've been using for this tiller for breaking down the ice.
Yeah, and we also visited a second business. This one was a restaurant that seemed to be pretty popular in the area. They actually had quite a bit of people coming in there and was kind of busy this afternoon. Take a listen.
I think since a lot of families kind of know this place, this is like their last resort kind of. They come in here, see if we're open, and yes, here we are. You know, I think a few other restaurants in town are open, but I'm not sure which ones. But hey, people love our food, so we will stay open as long as people are eating.
Yeah, and again, those icy conditions, the trucks going by right now, a little bit sliding a little bit on the road there. We did see a few salt trucks go by in the area. They weren't really putting down salt, but we did see some plow trucks that were plowing some of that snow that was out the way, the little lighter snow that was on top of the ice. They were plowing that out of the way. But again, this is just a reminder that when you're out in these conditions, not only be aware of the drivers, but also pedestrians, because it is very slippery. In Kaufman County, I'm Brittany Moncrief.
Wow. This one is see Long Island man suffers all attack. Suburban snow family says by CB New York. Like
A man who dedicated his life to service and faith has died while attempting to shovel snow outside of his Floral Park church. Jennifer Bisram spoke with his friends, family, and parishioners on Long Island.
This is a guy you could call and anything you needed, and he would be there for you.
He lived with an open hand and welcoming heart, leaving a trail of love his family, friends, and community say they were honored to follow.
A friend for life, you know, we grew up together and spent a lot of good times with him. We did everything together. Everything you can imagine, from playing ball to playing hooky.
Kevin Troy remembering 60-year-old Roger McGovern, a retired NYPD sergeant who volunteered at Our Lady of Victory Church in Floral Park and was a member of the Knights of Columbus.
Roger grabbed the shovel and was on his way out to shovel, and that's when it happened.
His family tells CBS News New York he walked in the snow and brutal cold about a mile to the church where he wanted to shovel and clear paths so parishioners could safely attend a noon mass. Sadly, he died from a heart attack before he could finish.
This was not an untypical thing for Roger to do.
The NYPD says the father of three retired in 2008. The Sergeants Benevolent Association posted on X his commitment to service continued long after retirement. May he rest in peace.
He was shoveling, doing good work that he did his whole life.
He was a great guy. He was good for Floral Park. He was a good father, good friend, and it's just he's going to be missed.
A tremendous loss now being felt across Floral Park and the law enforcement community.
He's going to be remembered as a guy who would do anything and always help others.
And the family says funeral arrangements for McGovern are still being finalized. In the meantime, he is being remembered as a man of faith and a man of service, not just by his family, but by this community. In Floral Park, Jennifer Bisram, CBS News, New York.
Have you heard the buzz? Have you heard the buzz? We've got another Arctic weekend incoming to the Gulf Coast. But it got us thinking here at WDSU, could we see something extremely rare that we're going to call the Gulf effect? With snow flurries all the way into the spine of Florida, I'm looking at you, Tampa. This was back in 1977. So yes, it's happened before where they got 0.2 inches of measurable snow all the way into Tampa, Florida. So what are the magic ingredients that it would take to get the Gulf effect? Similar to lake effect, you need extremely cold air. Check. We're going to have that this weekend. You also need warm water temperatures. Waters in the Northeast Gulf are in the low 60s to the upper 50s. You also need a favorable wind, speed, and direction, and a fetch length, which is a distance of that cold air moving over the warm body of water, typically 60 miles or more. The big key, though, this is the number to remember, you need a 23-degree temperature difference between the water and 5,000 feet above the ground. 23 degrees. Remember that number. What are we going to have this weekend? We are currently projecting a 32-degree temperature difference between the water temperatures of the Gulf and 5,000 feet up where clouds and precipitation form. Whether we get snow flurries or not, which there is a legitimate shot at the potential, not a guarantee, whether it happens or not, we're going to keep you posted. But the cold air is coming, teens for wind chills all the way into the spine of Florida.
Wow.
Stay tuned with WDSU for the latest.
So what? Let's see what this was on local gay last night.
Now let's go. Hey, with legs at Zeta. Big frame, big heater. Fat, fine, leather on the thighs when she roll up. All fear in your eyes. Like a babe with the bar fight stance. Lips so slick, make a priest wanna dance. Saucy mouth, talk spicy, no filter. Smirk on her face as the rumors get thicker. It's the Lolcow show. Hit play, let the day off flow. Sit down in the cut, get ready for the smoke. Be on the side, turning life into a joke. Lolcow show. Big laugh, big talk, big blow. If you know, then you know. Keep it locked, it's the Lolcow show. Here come Twiggy. Thin like a wire, eyes real quiet, mind on fire. Snake in a hoodie with a sideways grin. Reads you fast, peels back your skin. Real thin body, heavy attitude. Sushi pad cheek, but it's just a hit rule. Flex one time, wild little lifeguard. Yeah, I got to take a spin in Keem's new car. It's the Lolcow show. Hit play, let the play off flow. See that in the cut, yeah, ready for the smoke. Twiggy on the side, turning life into a joke. Lolcow show, big love, big love, big love. If you know, then you know. Keep it locked, it's the Lolcow show. Zeta, stomp that flow. Twiggy creep in through the back door.
Twiggy, he always been the creep. So
Like a spark in the night, say the wrong name, you might catch that fight. Oh yeah, she thick, she slick, she divine, he sharp, he dark, he a line. Two wild brains on the same live line. Hit that sub, you ain't never offline. It's a Lolcow show.
Welcome, everybody. It is meant to be. At the same time, you said stop. The song said stop. I mean,
it was too long. It sucked. It was awful.
Twiggy, you do suck. Stop, Twiggy.
You said in our chat that you write great songs. You don't. They suck.
I didn't write that.
Way better. Well,
Suno, baby.
You let it represent you. It was horrible.
Of course it was.
Too long. You're stalling. You don't want to get called out on all of your bullshit. Oh, we've already got a 10. I don't know if the TTS is working.
Let's give it a second. It should. It's up. Our thing's up.
It should.
It might have gotten raised. It was working yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zeta Ray is a tech genius, a tech wizard.
You know,
I've never seen somebody so good at OBS.
I actually am really good at tech and OBS. Failure to popular opinion. I used to handle tech that kept people alive. That's what their lives depended on.
I think most of the work, the tech does, you just kind of maybe made sure that it was plugged in.
No, not so much. Keep talking.
See, I would not
Keep
trust you with
talking.
my life.
Keep
No, I
talking.
would not trust you with my life. If
you need to turn Twiggy down to a CEO.
You shouldn't, man.
Nobody wants to eat Twiggy tongue.
You shouldn't. You are not my favorite person. I'm retired now. I can let motherfuckers die.
I'm so excited to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, Zeta is an awful, terrible person. And, well, we had a few little interactions in the past. Some of them were good, the rest not so much. I wrote a diss track on her. You heard it at the beginning of the stream. And in that diss track, I basically spill out, my feelings about what happens. I put my soul into that song.
I love that you hate.
Twiggy, shut up. You don't, so. Stop, Twiggy. Stop.
Me that much that you actually sat down and took time to fucking write that shit.
I am the only person, literally, it doesn't matter how many people are watching Zeta. I am the only person who's ever put that much energy and paying attention to you.
I beg to
not
differ.
kidding. How long have you been doing the streaming stuff, Zeta? Or just YouTube in general? How long have you been a content creator?
Well, in my world, anytime you pick up content and post it online, that's a content creator. So off and on for 2 years.
2 years. Okay, 2 years. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
Being that my content's boring as fuck because it's just like I never have time to edit and it's just what I do.
You working with Twiggy eat booming. So that makes sense. You contain booming. You work Twiggy booming. It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Excuses.
No, it's kind of like for when I die, so my kids can see like the crazy shit that I did that they didn't know about a little bit. That's more what it's about.
And now, do you think that the stuff you've put out there, do you think that's something that your future children would be like, they'd show people and be like, that's my mom. I'm proud of this.
Yeah, I raised my kid not to give a fuck about other people's opinions. That's just how it is.
Same with the LCU stuff?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, that's a little sad, but
it is what it is, baby. I have no shame in my game. And what?
I feel like that's kind of the problem.
Okay.
I think we need to bring
Twiggy, you are turned up on my end. I just turned you up again. You're
turn myself.
Yeah. You're at like 150. I don't want to like blow you out all the way. I don't want to max you out. I know you got excited because I said I want to blow you. Or you thought I said, I know. Pipe down, motherfucker.
How long have we been live before 9 minutes? We've been live 9 minutes. It took 9 minutes for Zeta to get sexual with me, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a question.
9 minutes.
Be Twiggy, stop. Not by kids, what you say. Stop, Twiggy.
I have a question. Is your dick as skinny as your ankles?
So now we're going to talk about my pecker woman.
Yeah. Josh, welcome to Lolcow Gay.
I'm just here to hear Twiggy and see if he's low here. Hi, Twiggy.
Am I low here?
Actually, maybe speaking.
She insisted on doing OBS, Josh.
You're fine. It's her OBS, just to confirm.
No.
All right, cool. All
Wait,
right.
I'll share my screen with you. Everything's maxed out.
Zeta, remember before, earlier today.
Everything's maxed out. Here, look for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to whip her into shape. Maybe not physically. That seems like an impossible feat. But when it comes to streaming,
oh, you're so funny.
I will whip her into shape because I'm waiting. I need her on OBS. That way I can take things to the point where she feels like she has to end a stream. Because if you end a stream because your feelings are hurt, ladies and gentlemen, use a bitch. And that's the goal.
Here we go.
It's your dog, Zeta.
No, he's going to bark. That's his job. It is what it is. Look, I have everything maxed out. It's all maxed out. My audio capture is maxed out. This is inactive right now, and that's my mic.
Well, I can't see that.
And then my PC thing. Oh, you should be able to see. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, you kind of have to share your screen with me.
Hold on 1 second.
Dear God!
Shut up. Leave me
Twiggy, stop, Twiggy, stop.
alone. Shut up. Leave me alone.
I'm trying to.
Twiggy, stop. No, the kiss. Stop.
Be nice today. Like, I want to start out the first day being nice, but you don't understand.
No.
Twiggy, since when you was nice. Twiggy, you was never nice. Stop.
How difficult this is for me.
That's not gonna happen.
All right. This woman came in, like she came in begging for a job, basically.
Okay,
then
click
told
it
Keem
so I could
how
click it again.
talented She was.
And that.
Told Keem, she is an entertainer.
I have never said that I'm talented ever.
You have. You've said you're
That's
entertaining.
other people's freaking opinions.
No.
Okay, do you see it now?
Nobody has ever said you're talented, Zeta. Those words have never come out of somebody's mouth, ever.
Okay, I'll let you believe it and I'll let you tell that. But
all right.
So
Twiggy, you're not telling me either. So stop.
See how everything, my audio captures max the fuck out. It's peaking right here. Yes. I turned you almost to 200%. And my Discord output, I could check that again. Let me check that again.
Chat, am I still quiet?
Twiggy, you being quiet is good. So stop.
Quiet.
Twiggy, you being quiet is good. So stop.
Let me just turn myself up on my end.
Twiggy, nobody wants you to turn yourself up. Nobody.
Oh wait, no, I can't because I'm all the way up.
So
I'm
look,
gonna
right,
lose my
watch.
shit, ladies and gentlemen.
My output.
This is Zeta Ray.
Look at
the
output
talented
volume.
streamer.
Output volume all the way up. Everything else is fucking maxed out.
We're losing them. They're leaving.
Here's-
Goodbye, people.
Bye. See you later.
This is the way Zeta Ray.
Twiggy, no, leave because nobody likes you. So Twiggy, if you leave, the people will come back. So
I'll turn you all the way up. There you go.
This is the way she runs
You
the
are
show.
maxed out. So increase your gain or something. There's nothing else that can be done.
This is unfortunate, you know. This is the talent Keem hires.
Right?
Twiggy came out you have no talent. So stop, Twiggy. Stop, Twiggy. You have no talent either. So stop.
Nope. Probably should have though.
How did you get into this position? I mean, I know, you know, this is
A Starlink. I let him borrow my Starlink. I thought you knew, bitch.
You should be, you know, you should be at these big awards with the red carpets and all of that. You should
No,
have
I
your
only
own
go to
stylist, your own
like the
personal
ones
chef.
for the things that I like. I'm a big fan.
Zeta, let's be real here. I mean, you're underselling yourself being a part of this LCU. A talent such as yourself could go so much further.
Okay.
Zeta, you're built like the guy in the chair, but you have none of his tech skills. How is this possible? You literally look like the guy from Jurassic Park. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Boogie knows who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
What was his name? Dennis. You look like Dennis Nedry. I think that was his name. Chat, does she look like Dennis? Josh, does she look like
Hi.
Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park?
No, Twiggy, you look like Disney from Jurassic Park. So stop.
Wow, lovely comparison actually.
does. She does.
Can you so on your OBS, you know the white slider below the volume?
Yeah, it's all the
For
way.
each one it's up to the max, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well on the one where Twiggy's coming through, if you right click that track, you can it goes to filters and add a gain to it because you're gonna need to do that at this point because we can't fuck that in, really.
Okay, filters.
I need you to hear
And
you can go plus at the bottom and add a gain. You
Add-
need to get them louder. Like
add gain.
we
Okay.
need to hear your co-host.
If only Josh.
Okay. And then move it to the right. Keep talking.
Learn OBS.
Yeah,
you
we can
know?
keep talking, I guess.
There.
I mean,
Like
Twiggy
if
can
we
talk
had
today. Go
somewhere,
ahead,
Josh,
Twiggy.
where people could go with no
Okay,
judgment.
So I just added it and I
in
put it like
practice.
almost to the max and just click close, right?
Let's see if it's painful.
not
Hold
want me
on,
at
I'm
the
watching the stream.
My bars now.
You do
I know
not
it's
want me at
peaking
the
on my bar,
max.
but
Oh
as
dear
long
God.
as-
Oh dear God.
Okay, it's getting better. Okay, now it's too loud.
right? Okay.
I'm gonna.
It's far too it's blowing up.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's what I thought. It's
yeah,
what
put it
looks like.
less.
Okay, hold on.
I miss Lisi and Smooch. I never thought I
Did
would
you
say
lower it
that.
from what you put it up to? Because it was
Hold
really
on.
blowing out.
Hold on. Okay. Talk now, Twiggy.
Hey, you want him slightly
talking.
lower, I think.
Okay.
I'm talking.
It's not
I'm blowing
peaking
out
as
like
bad.
crazy.
It's not peaking as bad now on the monitor.
Dear God.
It should sound better once you go out of here.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, I would say that I'm disappointed, but I set myself up.
I think it's
for this.
okay.
I went into
It
this
sounds.
knowing what
It looks like it's good, and it sounds good to me.
I think it's okay
Chat
now.
says it's good. Okay.
I hope it's
Thank you, Josh, so much for your
Alright,
help.
finally.
I
comments. I think I'm in the same area, so drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction in streams like this. And subscribe if you're new. So drop a like if you like, and comment below if you want to see more streams like this. And subscribe if you're new, and click the post so you can be notified me upload in post in about 5. And go check out Lolcow. Bye. The video key is in, so you video key to Lolcow. Bye. And go see what's up.